Welcome into the Steelers Talk Mailbag. I am your host, Jack Sperry, and I love these segments that we get to do every week because I get to hear from you guys directly, and you guys get to ask me your questions. And I get to talk about the stuff that you want me to talk about, all right? So if you want to get a question on a future Steelers Talk live show, make sure you click that subscribe button and then join us for our live shows every Wednesday and Friday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We have the most interactive Steelers YouTube community here on the platform. We have these mailbags every single Friday. So if you want to get a question on future edition of Steelers Talk and you want to join the best community of Yinzers on the platform for free, just click that subscribe button and join us on Friday afternoons. Okay, now we got one from Omar's Burner, $5 super chat here. Says, also, I would wonder if Pittsburgh also called Washington about a potential Larry Ogunjobi and a third for Jonathan Allen trade. So I don't think this is going to happen. Jonathan Allen is a really good player, and man, just imagine like Cam Hayward, Keanu Benson, and Jonathan Allen on the same defensive line. That's scary, man. But I think Washington really likes John. I think they might even try to extend him if he gets out to a good start to the season. And I think the Steelers like Ogunjobi. I think that they're fine with keeping Ogunjobi, and I don't think they want to give up draft picks here, especially a day 2 draft pick like a third rounder. So I think that the Steelers will keep what they have, and, it's an interesting idea here, Omar, but I don't think it's going to happen. Then we got one from Brock Walker. He says, do you think Patrick Queen can have another great season without his running partner, Roquan Smith? Yes. Yes, I do. And the reason for that is because, you watch his film, and this idea that Patrick Queen is only good because of Roquan Smith is just ridiculous, okay? Patrick Queen, he's his own man. He's out there on the field. He's doing things that, frankly, even Roquan Smith just can't do because Roquan's a bit smaller, and Patrick not only has the insane athleticism, but he's got the size. So Smith is great in his own right for the role that he plays, but Patrick Queen, he's an all-pro in his own right, and he's coming in here to prove himself. Everything that you've heard about him in OTAs is true. He looks absolutely like a beast, and like the all-pro that he is, he's going to have a phenomenal season this year. Then we got one from F Left, who says, I'm hearing quite a bit of that the Steelers could be interested in Dak Prescott next offseason. What are the chances they could pull that off? Well, in order for that to happen, F Left, they would need to have Russell Wilson and Justin Fields not play well this year, which I really hope doesn't happen. Okay, I tend to believe that Russell Wilson's going to play well, and he will get a second contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then if he doesn't play well, I hope that Justin Fields can come in and earn himself a second contract. So I really hope the Steelers don't get into this situation. But if the Steelers do end up in this situation, I could see them targeting Prescott. He's somebody that's established, somebody that might want to come to a team like the Steelers with a great head coach, a great defense, all that great stuff, talented receiver in George Pickens, a good tight end in Pat Freiermuth, good run game. I could see Dak Prescott being interested in the Steelers and the Steelers being interested in Prescott if Russ and Fields don't work out. But predict it for me down there in the comments section. Is Pittsburgh's 2025, so not this year, but the next year's starting quarterback, on the roster right now? So will Russ or Fields be the starting quarterback 2 seasons from now? Give me a yes or a no for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by giving me a yes or a no down there in the comments section. Then we got one from Christopher Roy here, Black Diamond member here, by the way. Says, anyone we can get together wide receiver that is good enough to keep us as contenders? It seems like the Steelers are, I would like to get Michael Thomas. I think Michael Thomas is a good fit, but it seems like the Steelers just really aren't that interested in him at this point. So I think right now what they're going to do is they're going to stick with Van Jefferson. They're going to stick with Calvin Austin III. They're going to stick with Quez Watkins. They're going to stick with Scotty Miller, and they're going to have those guys battle it out, and whoever is the best receiver is going to get the role. And then Roman Wilson will work his way into the rotation as well, and they're going to hope that that's good enough to make this team a competitive football team this year. Then we got one from Offsides Edits. What's up, man? Says, if Stephon Gilmore is available, if he is, we can put Gilmore on the outside, then put Dante in the slot. Here's the thing with I don't mind the idea of putting Dante Jackson in the slot. The problem is it doesn't seem like the Steelers want to do that. They haven't even discussed putting him in the slot at all this year. Dante said himself, I'm playing exclusively on the outside in this scheme. So it doesn't seem like the Steelers are very interested in that. Does it make sense? Yeah, potentially. He's smaller. He's shifty. Might be a pretty decent slot corner, but it seems like the Steelers feel like he's really good on the outside. So if they bring in anybody, I think they're going to be playing the slot, and Dante is going to stay outside. Then we got one from my girlfriend, Cassie Voth, with her Super Chat sticker right there. By the way, Coop has no idea what this reference is to, which is hilarious.
No idea.
And so she says, who are you hoping to meet at training camp in 3 weeks? So Cassie and I are going to Pittsburgh for training camp. We're going to go to the night Latrobe practice at the stadium there. And then the next day we'll be going to the afternoon practice. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping to meet Russell Wilson, man. That will be like a surreal experience to meet Russell Wilson.
And maybe some Steelers talk real ones?
Yeah, and if you go to practices those days, you could probably see me. I think I'm going to be wearing a Steelers Talk t-shirt,
Let's go.
So you guys could probably see me. Okay, guys, make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We got daily videos here on the channel. We break down breaking news every time it happens. We went live for when they traded for Fields, when they signed Russell Wilson, when they made big signings in free agency. If they make another big move, we'll go live, okay? Also, speaking of live shows, we go live every Wednesday and Friday, plus we go live for every Paul Skeens day as well to break down those Pirates games. It's all 100% free, and you can join the over 55,000 Yinzers already subscribed. We are the largest Steelers Talk YouTube channel here on the platform, so make sure you click that subscribe button right now. Okay, now we got one from Nothing who says, if you could make one move before training camp, who would you trade for or sign? It's a good question, okay? It's a good question because, there's a couple different things I would do. I would think about trading Dan Moore Jr., potentially, if Troy Fautanu showed himself to be worthy in camp.
Patrick Peterson?
Patrick Peterson, the cornerback is something I would potentially do. But personally, guys, it's not going to happen, but I would sign Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas, I think, is the type of guy that can elevate this offense a little bit. It seems like the Steelers like Van Jefferson. I guess we'll see if that works out. Calvin Austin III had a good spring. So I guess we'll see how that plays out. But if I could make one signing right now, it would be Michael Thomas. Then we got one from Happy Gilmore. It says, the more I watch Deebo Samuel on receiver, the more I want him. Any shot he'll be a Steeler sometime soon. Won't be this season. I believe the Niners have completely closed the door on any potential trade of Deebo Samuel this year. But, man, next year, if they give Brandon Ayuk a massive contract, and they might, Deebo is going to be traded next offseason, plain and simply. And with that kind of situation where the teams trading for Deebo have all the leverage, I mean, you could get Deebo for like a fourth-round pick or maybe like a third-round pick. Like that, like the opportunities are definitely there to get a Deebo Samuel next offseason. The problem is that doesn't help the Steelers right now. So could I see Deebo as a Steeler in future years? Yeah, I could. Absolutely. He fits this offense really, really well. But this season, it's probably not going to happen. Now, what say you guys? Let me know down there in the comments section. Are you interested in trading for Deebo Samuel next offseason? Type I if you are interested, or type N if you are not. Let me know your reasoning down there in the comments section. We got a first-time super chatter here. We got my man Trey. And he says, who is your pick for the most impactful rookie for the Steelers this season? So among the rookies, I mean, you got Fautanu, you got Frazier, you got Roman, you got Wilson, you got Payton, got Watts. It's not going to be Watts. I'm sorry, Coop. I know. It's not going to be your boy Watts. I believe it's going to be Roman Wilson. I think that by season's end, he'll be established as the number 2 receiver here in Pittsburgh. Fautanu and Frazier will play important roles as well. But number 2 wide receiver is a very important role, and I think Wilson is good enough to fill that role by the end of the season. So most impactful, I'm going to go with Roman Wilson, wide receiver out of Michigan. Let me go on from the Jerk is Mine. What's up, my man? Says, I think we got to give Warren a starter if we play both. None will shine. Just something I've been thinking about. So I think he's talking about Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris here. And saying that we got to give more reps to Warren than to Najee. But here's the thing, man. What I'm thinking here is that they're going to play both of them. I don't think there's any problem with playing both because you got to keep guys fresh throughout a season. If you pretty much only play Warren and you just sit Najee Harris or you trade him away, Warren's going to get burnt out, right? Because this is going to be a very run-heavy offense. And in today's NFL, you just don't see many bell cows, okay? You just don't see many guys that get all three every single drive, every single play. Those players don't exist anymore. All right, and if you do that with Warren, he's going to get burnt out, and this offense is going to struggle towards the end of the season. So I like that they have 2 quality backs that they can keep fresh throughout the season, and I think Warren is going to have a really good season. Now, like the video here if you're a real one. Really do appreciate everybody that watches our videos and clicks that thumbs up icon because it helps out the YouTube algorithm and gets our videos out to as many people and as many Steelers fans as humanly possible. So I greatly appreciate all the real ones that click that thumbs up icon. Let me on from Christian Andujar here. Says, so Jack, I just saw something about the Miami Dolphins trading Hill to the Steelers. Not official or anything, just a rumor. Thoughts on that, Jack? Would Hill fit in this offense? It's not happening. I don't know where you heard that, my friend, but I don't think it's real. It might be a parody because Tyreek Hill is legit like a top 5 receiver in the league. There's no way, and he's a key piece in the Dolphins offense. There's no way that they are trading him. Would I love him on the Steelers? Yes, he's a top 5 receiver in football. He's a great downfield threat. Russell Wilson and Tyreek Hill would be one of the best wide receiver quarterback duos in the league. But there's a reason why Hill is as good as he is. And when you have a receiver that good, you don't trade him away. Then we got one from Scholes92. Says, will Payton Wilson be the starter at linebacker next to Queen by the end of the season? Or is Holcomb too good to pass? So listen, man. Landon Roberts is the other starting linebacker here. So you got Patrick Queen. Landon Roberts had a really good season last year. People forget about Landon, but he's a really good blitzer, really good run defender. Not great as a pass defender, though, so I think Landon will be an early down kind of player. And then Payton Wilson, who's pretty darn good in coverage, will come in on like third down situations, second and long, right, where the offense is more likely to pass the football. That's when they're going to put Wilson in there. I think it's going to be a very prominent role. Cole Holcomb, I think, is going to probably get moved down the totem pole a bit here because he just hasn't played in a very long time. I'm not sure how much he's going to practice in Latrobe this year. So I think Wilson, by the end of the year, will probably be above Holcomb on the depth chart. Then we got one from Eric Downs. It says, if you had to guess right now who will be the Steelers' starting slot cornerback for Week 1, will they cut Sutton now? If I had to guess right now, it's one that people don't guess a whole lot for some reason. Grayland Arnold. I like Grayland, man. I think that he's a decent player. He played pretty good in the slot last year for Houston. He had a better Pro Football Focus grade, better production, better film, in my opinion, than Josiah Scott when he played in the slot for the Eagles back in 2022. So if there's anybody that I think has the edge here, I'd say probably Grayland Arnold. Josiah had a lot of first-team reps in OTAs. Beanie Bishop Jr. looked really good in OTAs. So it's definitely an open competition, but I think Grayland Arnold has the talent level and the experience that could get him that Week 1 start. Now let me know down there in the comments section who's going to start at slot corner in Week 1. Will it be Josiah Scott? Will it be Beanie Bishop Jr.? Will it be Grayland Arnold? Will it be somebody else? Let me know down there in the comments section who starts at slot corner in Week 1. That'll be it for this week's mailbag, guys. Appreciate your support. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already for more Steelers news and rumors content throughout the 2024 season.